18 days of inventory. We're back up to 21 because we're doing listings. And turn my phone off. That would be a good idea. Because we put 105 under contract, but we listed 64. And the interesting thing is that we are doing 120 sales a day, and that's adjusted on a daily basis by the number of sales we do. So when we do the weekend, Monday usually shows more sales per day because we're using Friday stats. So if that makes any sense, it's just a formula and it gives us an accurate reading. So we're doing 120 sales a day. Last year we were doing 140. And so the market is not as brisk, even though we had more inventory last year, probably because of the price point. Last year was 365,000, and this year we're at 450. And I saw where someone was saying that the median for the month has gone up already to over 500,000. I'm not sure if that was the median or the average. So, and exactly if that was Clark County and or just Las Vegas. So I will deep dive into that and get you an accurate reading about that number. But anyway, the investors are still buying 44 homes a day, and that's a good thing because we need homes to rent. The builders are still building new homes. They've got more permits now than they had last year this time. So the future looks pretty good. And one of the things that I've noticed that I will show you here is there's a lot of people going and using HomeLight. And so as an agent, you can go to HomeLight and sign up, and many people have. And when I was looking at it, I was surprised to see who they recommended. I went on there as if I were a consumer and who they recommended and who popped up, but our friend George Caprios. And he's got 495 clients from HomeLight. So the proof is in the pudding. If you think these things don't work, evidently they do. And I think earlier in the year, we gave you 25 referral sites that you should sign up on, because people are, a lot of these are advertising. A lot of these are advertising, maybe not in Las Vegas, but in the other cities. So if they're doing that and they look for someone in Las Vegas, you want to be there. You really want to be there. So this was just interesting. I scrolled down through here and I saw that he had 18 years of experience. He said he had closed 3,873 homes. He had 495 clients off of HomeLight, and he responds quickly. He's a single family home expert, and he's one of the most active agents because he's number one buyer solds in Las Vegas. I'm not so sure where he got that stat, but regardless, he it really looks like he might be someone that somebody would choose. He's got neighborhood knowledge. He's a top producer. He's in the top 5%. And he has a Move Safe certified certificate, and he leverages tools, technology, and practices to keep you safe. And then there's a map of some of the homes that he's sold. So if you're not on some of these referral sites, I would really, really recommend that you get on them. Why not give yourself more and more exposure? And today I want to talk about confidence and conversion. And I do that in segue from the online leads. So if you go on these places and then you do get a lead, we call those online leads, how do you convert them? So, of course, I searched out and I found Jeff Mays. Jeff Mays is a coach with none other than Tom Ferry. And I see that Tom Ferry is really getting a lot of play lately. And I don't see as much going on in the Brian Buffini arena for some reason. And Brian Buffini has a totally different approach to the market. He's more of a systemized person. He gives you systems to utilize. All good. I love Brian Buffini. But I also like the fact that Tom Ferry, he's more into social media and talking to his coaches. And I think that, these fellas all know each other. They all take a different approach so that they don't step on each other's toes. And I think Tom was out there searching for a long time. as to what he was going to do to be different. So what he's done to be different is get his coaches to do live. He started out with a podcast, and of course he videoed it. And we're going to watch, it's just 4 minutes. So let's watch this, how Jeff Mays is telling people that you convert these online leads. So let me get us started here. And away we will go.
You have a client that's converting online leads at 30%. Breakdown for the listener today, audio or video, however they're consuming this.
Yes.
I want to convert all my leads online at 30%. What is the formula?
You know, Tom, LP Mama is dead. Okay, the idea is we're not going to ask a bunch of questions. They're calling you to set an appointment.
Yes.
Give them what they want. So,
Yes.
Hey, Tom, you called about 123 Banana Street.
Yep.
I can show you the house today at 4 o'clock or tomorrow at 1. What works best with you?
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
You're going to get the appointment. Then, Hey, there's a couple other houses nearby. Do you want to take a look at those houses while we've got an extra 10 or 15 minutes?
Absolutely, yes.
Great. And then, has anybody sat down with you and explained the process of buying a house?
Well, I mean, we bought a few houses before, so we're pretty comfortable.
Okay. So why don't we get together? We'll take a look at this house and 1 or 2 other houses. But, to look at houses in this market, we're going to have to be pre-qualified. Have you got a pre-qualification letter from a lender?
Yeah, I mean, I got a basic pre-call from my bank.
Okay. So what the reason she's getting such a conversion ratio is she's going to connect them with their lender of choice. Like, hey, let me put you on a little 3-way text thread with the loan officer.
Yep.
Hey, I just want to introduce you to Tom. He's looking at buying a house. We're going to need him, get him pre-qualified by 4 o'clock today.
Yep.
If you could reach out to him, that would be great. Well, she's gotten together with her loan officer, and they're kind of tag teaming them. Like, the next thing was like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky to be working with Jeff.
Right.
Why would you want to do that?
I mean, first of all, it's third-party validation.
Right.
It's going to hopefully make the customer feel a little more comfortable,
Right.
a little more trust.
Pump them up about working with you.
Absolutely.
So then the key is getting together with the loan officer and getting them qualified and having someone else help them out through this transaction. Somebody told me way back when, in this business, we've got to lead people. They gave this analogy of like, you got to pull people. You don't need to push them, but you got to, hey, Tom, let's go take a look at this house.
Yep.
Hey, Tom, let's talk to this loan officer.
Yep.
People I find are they're kind of weak. They're not asking a lot of questions. They're not,
They're not taking charge.
They're not taking charge,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so what we've got to do is take charge, ask the right questions, and lead people, not really push them as much, but lead people.
So breaking down the 30%, it's answer the phone as quickly as possible. Right. It's give the customer what they want, which hi, I'm calling about 1234 Banana Street. I'd like to see that. Is that home still available? Is it on the market? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, let's schedule an appointment, right? Depending upon where you're at, because some it's like, one appointment at a time, depending upon where you are in the world. So you give them what they want, and then you try and, say, hey, if there's something else, do you want to see it?
Yep.
Right? Especially if it's a pocket listing
So
or
watch
something
it.
off
You'll
market.
be surprised at how many people will say, hey, can you get me in this one and this one?
Yep.
50% of Zillow leads go unanswered.
Right.
So they are actually, oh my God, can you get us in this? Now you're showing service.
Right.
And also at that point, maybe they're going to say, I'm working with an agent, or do you have those listings as well?
Yeah.
You're going to have that dialogue around that as well. But the reason she is getting 30% is she's connecting with the loan officer and taking charge. That's the key.
Yeah. I think that's the real hook, is like, it's that integration between you and your LO. And obviously it's a partnership, right? It's your loan officer saying, oh my goodness, you're working with Jeff Mays.
Right.
He is the bomb. Like whatever that script is appropriate for you and your marketplace. So 30% conversion, like that's the hack.
Super simple tweak.
Right.
Imagine if you I think the idea is when you say, hey, you need to talk to, most agents say, you need to talk to my loan officer. They won't do that. The thought of that, Tom, is like talking to the IRS or doing your taxes. Seriously, I mean, we have did you talk to they haven't talked to the loan officers, so should I show them, or they're not really? You've got to, and here's the key.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick 3-way text, get you connected.
Right.
And even if they say, hey, I've already been pre-qualified, hey, if my loan officer could get you a better rate or, savings in points, would that be of interest to you? Would that be worth like 5 minutes talking to him or her?
Definitely.
Right? So it's the same kind of thing, right?
Yep.
I love it, man. So, hey, if we can take every one of our online leads and convert it 30%, there's a formula here. He's just outlined it. Let's do it. Confidence and conversion.
Work.
I love Tom, and Jeff is just a great coach. One of the things that I would add to what they were saying is, if you heard the secret sauce there, and that is taking control and taking charge, and that's why a lot of people don't convert, because oh my gosh, I got an online lead, it's a Zillow lead or whatever, what do I do now, well, they're usually calling about a property they saw. You need to just ask questions that are not yes or no questions. You need to ask questions that make them think that you really care about them, because hopefully you really do, because that's the kind of business we're in. We're in the people business. And saying, let me, you want to see this house on 123 Banana Street at 4:00? Let's get you in there. Let me get my loan officer on the phone so that we can get a pre-qual letter, because in today's market, if you really like that house, we want to be prepared, or whichever house we show you, you want to be prepared, because people want to know that you're qualified. You have to be careful how you do that, because if you ask them, do they have a lender? Well, that's yes or no. Have they been pre-qualified? Well, that's yes or no. And what you want to do is say, hey, let's say Sheila's in our office. I use Sheila because she'll get us the best rate, and she'll get this letter to us today so we can see these houses, whether we can schedule them today or tomorrow. We'll have it all done. So let me get Sheila on the phone, and you just do it. You just be the driver. And that way these people will, they'll feel comfortable. And if they don't, you probably need to let them go. You can't convert everybody, but with confidence, you can convert most of them. And 30% to me is a big number of online leads. So I thought that was really just some good little tips for you today. And let's see, that's good. I've done this with years for my MLM, but not with my loan officer. Well, that's maybe what you should do. Yeah. No pre-qual up front. Should you not ask up front if they are signed with buyer brokerage already? Well, probably, but with an online leads are a little bit of a different animal, I think. I appreciate the comments, by the way. So let me put that one back up there. So in today's market, you want them to know that you're the authority. Of course, yeah, you always want to know if they're working with another agent. But I think, first of all, I think the point of what Jeff is saying is that you need to take control, take charge, get that pre-qual letter. They may be working with another agent or called other people, whatever, but they might not have signed a buyer brokerage. But excellent point. You need to find out at some point in that conversation if they have. But I would like to get all their information first, and in the hopeful chance that they haven't already signed a buyer brokerage with someone else. So very good point. Thank you so much for that comment. Yeah, Jeff Mays is amazing, and I mean, what these things tell us is maybe how to tweak what we're already doing, maybe to be better, and try different things, because if you're not getting 30% conversion on online leads, maybe there's a reason. So you have to be very consistent and in control. When we used to put out the magazine Homes by Price, we would have an agent's picture and phone number under every home. And so we were recording the phone calls as well. Why? To make people better. And when they would call on 123 Main Street. And I can never forget when Mary said, I'm not going to mention Mary's last name, but her first call, and the person said, is 123 Main Street available? And Mary said, no. and they said, oh, really? She says, yeah, it was sold like 2 weeks ago, and never ever got involved with the person, and they hung up. And then we taught people how you engage people, like, oh, you're looking for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath in that area. So that's in the Summerlin area. Are you familiar with that area? And then just, in other words, take control in your own way. But the point Jeff is making is take control. A lot of times these online leads, now I know Zillow, they put the call through to you, but a lot of these online leads just come in as emails without phone numbers. So that's a whole nother class for another day. Anyway, thank you for the comments. I really appreciate it. I want to also go a little bit deeper here on some of the things that are available. Now we talk about, marketing tips. And one of the things that I've shown you this before, but this comes from, our city subscribes to this service, EMSI. And EMSI is an economy overview of the migrations to Las Vegas because people want to know that. And here are the previous counties. Now, I'm telling you this because if you're doing any type of online marketing, any social media marketing, Facebook in particular, so that you can designate the areas that you want to send your virtual tour to, or, however your marketing material is. So Honolulu County, 2,243 migrations in this particular time period. And then Sacramento, Santa Clara, all these counties, I'm showing you this because these are things that you want to do. You want to go where the puck is going, right? You want to go where the people are coming from to here. You don't want to just be like shooting out all over the United States because you're going to lose. You're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money and get very frustrated. So the more targeted you are, the better. And of course, one of the things I really love to show everybody is here's California. And California lost wealth to the number one state. Sorry, my nose is itching this morning. It's tickling. That we lost wealth. They lost wealth to was Nevada. $18.47 billion in wealth was lost to Nevada. And we're really a big jump ahead of Texas and Arizona, Oregon, and Washington. And we're number one. So, and look who's moving to California. People from New York. Well, I mean, the homes there are $1,000 a square foot, so it's kind of like apples and apples, except they get maybe better weather than New York. And then a lot of people moving out of Cook County, Illinois. A lot of people. So if you want to target a county, I would target Cook County. But California is gaining some wealth from there, but not that much. And realistically, New Jersey is kind of the same way as New York, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. All these East Coast places have higher cost of higher taxes. The cost of living's higher, and that's why we like to use the Nerd Wallet, because we can dig deep into some of these areas and determine, so that if we snag somebody, luckily, right, we can say, oh my gosh, the cost of living in Las Vegas is 30% cheaper, and then you can even share with them, the information from Nerd Wallet. And then let's see, what else did I pull up today? I think I pulled another one up here. Let's look at this. So here's Clark County. Now, where did we gain our wealth from? Well, there you go. We gained $4.19 billion from Los Angeles County, $1.56 billion from Orange County, San Diego County, Cook County, Illinois is in there, just like I was talking to you earlier, and Santa Clara County. So that's where we're getting our wealth from, these majorly. And then we're losing. It's funny because we're losing some of our own. People are retiring probably to maybe, we got like 2.3 million people here, and they're probably moving Nye County, the Pahrump area, Jean, down in that area. And then Travis County, Texas, we're losing to them, Washington County, Utah, St. Johns County, Florida, and Monterey, California. So I would say this is a different, kind of like a different sector. And I wouldn't be too concerned about where we're losing our wealth to, because people are always moving back to where their family was, or maybe they got a job transfer, things like that. It's important where we're getting our wealth from. So that's why you look at that one. And let's see if I have one more to show you here. Thought I did. One more. Where'd you go? Here it is. And then this is population. Now, if you notice up here, there's a wealth mode, and then the one I just previously showed you. Let's see if I can find it. Here, you notice, if you can, it says population. So we're in the wealth mode here now. And so we're gaining, we're in the population mode. We're gaining population from Los Angeles County, Orange County, San Bernardino, San Diego, and there's that Cook County again from Chicago. So these give you, the basic areas that you should really be targeting and spending your money when you're out there trying to attract leads on your business page. And again, where we lose population, I don't think means that much, at least not to our endeavors here. And let's see if we have, I wanted to show you that. Did I miss anything this morning? Well, just wanted to show, here's the Nerd Wallet. Nerd Wallet cost of living calculator. It is such a cool tool. So when you are, so as part of, I'm going to spend money on Facebook and market and target a county in like Los Angeles County, I want to make sure that I know what some of the conversation can be. Either, it can be right in the text of your ad, but to maintain your standard of living in Los Angeles, you need to earn $71,984. Okay. In Vegas, you only need to earn $50,000. So that's a 44% higher cost of living rate when you do the calculation. Anyway, there's lots of information here that you can share and hook people with to make them realize, oh my gosh, I can live in Vegas for 44% less than I can live where I'm living. And people are moving here, and I'm sure that's some of the reason. So those are some of the things today when if you're going to go out there and you're going to snag those online leads, if you're going to go on those 25 referral sites, I'll find the I think maybe it's the CEO of Your Life where I showed everybody that. I'll find that and I'll post that on the group so you can see and sign up for these 25 referral sites. And that way you'll start getting some of these referrals. And when they're referrals from like HomeLight, they're pretty good. I mean, if George can capture 495 leads or clients, actually, it said, that means that these sites are working and they're all over TV and on the internet. They're advertising everywhere. No class for the rest of the week. Our next class, we're taking next week off to develop an online platform that we're working on. So I think our next class is risk reduction, and it's March 31st. And you need 3 CE credits of risk reduction this year. This is the class basically that circles around cybersecurity. And when we had our ethics class yesterday, we were mentioning Instagram and Facebook and all these sites. I just made a comment that one of the things that you can do in Facebook to protect yourself when it comes to cybersecurity is that you need to create your lists on your personal page, your clients, your family, your prospects and your friends and your fellow realtors. Have 4 or 5 different lists because you want to send different messages to different groups of people. And you don't want to do public. You don't want the whole world to know what you're doing. There's a lot of stalking going on out there. There's a lot of cyber crime going on, and it's increasing. So, and if you want to learn how to do lists, just come to one of our agent formula classes and we'll show you how to do lists. It's not hard, and it takes about 10-15 minutes to show you. And once you practice it, you'll see how easy it is. And then you're much more effective when you put your posts out there. And then if you're doing Facebook ads, hopefully, then you can migrate some of those phone numbers, names, emails over to your personal and have those your Facebook leads, and then you can send things out to them just through Facebook, and they're there. So anyway, just a few tips, and just be cautious. The thing I was going to say about Instagram is really pushing hard to compete against YouTube, as you heard Jason Pantana say yesterday, and they are saying no more 15 to 30 hashtags, only 3 to 5 hashtags. And a lot of this they're doing because in order to compete with YouTube, what do you do when you go to YouTube? You go into the search bar and you say, how do I fix my dishwasher, right? Everything that you do in YouTube is generally driven by a question, and you're searching for something specific. So and when you do that, you get higher view times. So now Instagram's saying, we need to do the same thing. We need to not have so many hashtags. We need to whittle it down to 3 to 5. And then, so you're going to see some of these numbers really change when you go and see how many posts there have been about a particular subject. And that's a good thing, because it was getting too overwhelming, I think, as well. So now when you search for something, you're going to get a specific, just a less post or content or videos about that subject. And what Instagram is hoping for is that then you'll spend more time on those particular profiles. And when you do that, okay, it's going to start more engagement. So I think that they came out and you know, they were everywhere doing everything for everybody. And now they're kind of contracting their business model so that it can be more effective. Because if they're going to compete with YouTube and Google, they're going to have to be a better search engine, so that when people search for things and find them, then they spend more time and create more engagement. And that's the name of the game. So having said that, I would just want to caution you that Facebook has a lot of security built into it. I don't see that with Instagram. So just be careful who you're following and who's following you, so on and so forth. And that's a class for another day. But just be careful what you're posting on Instagram, because that is public. And people, if you're doing hashtags, they're going to search you out. And just be careful. But we'll get into that another day. You all have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Looks like a beautiful day out there. And